What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Stealing Harvard. So this is a movie I have seen before. I initially sought it out because I'm a big Tom Green fan, and I'm also a big Jason Lee fan. You know, Tom Green, he's in Road Trip. That's a straight up classic, hilarious movie. And Freddy Got Fingered. I love that movie. I know that's like one of the most hated movies of all time. People think that's the worst movie ever, but I think it's absolutely hilarious. My buddy and I at work, we actually constantly quote Freddy Got Fingered because he loves that movie as well. He's seen it like 100 times, which I haven't seen it 100 times, but I do like Freddy Got Fingered. Like we constantly quote it at work. We're always like, I'm 28 years old. I can eat a chicken sandwich if I want. And then we say, like, whenever we like do something stupid, we're like, don't you ever just feel like a stupid dummy? And like we're always like talking about that one line too, like, you know, I ordered a cheese sandwich and there's hardly any cheese on it. So yeah, I'm a big Tom Green fan. That's part of the reason I initially sought this movie out. And I'm a big Jason Lee fan too. He's in like all the classic Kevin Smith movies. He's in Mallrats, that's one of my all-time favorite Kevin Smith movies. He's in Dogma. Dogma's pretty good. Chasing Amy, Clerks 2. I think he's in some other ones, but yeah, he's in, you know, some of my favorite, Kevin Smith movies. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, and I like that show he was in too. My Name Is Earl. That was a good show. I would like watch that when it was on. It was always on before school. That actually, I mean, here's a little fun fact. That actually is my name. My name is Earl. So that's like my whole channel. My channel name is just my initials, but yeah, that's my name. That's a fun fact. I don't know if anyone on here knows my name. Now you know. Fun fact. You learn something new every day, you know? But anyways, like I said, I have seen this movie before. The reason I checked it out is because I like those two actors and their other work. And here's the deal with this movie. Here's my opinion, okay? I don't hate this movie by any means. I think I just think it's all right. I think compared to other movies that these actors are in, this movie it just doesn't stack up. It's a lot more bland. It's a lot more tame. Yeah, it's by no means like unenjoyable. Basically this movie is like a good time waster, and it's not as funny as some other movies that include these actors. So yeah, it's just okay. Neither here nor there, you know. Like, I'll throw it on, but it's not something that I watch on repeat. I'm not watching this movie over and over, and it's not like super memorable or quotable like, you know, some of the other movies I mentioned. But it's all right. It's not bad. But anyways, let me get into the plot summary here. So you got John, played by Jason Lee, and he has this plan. He wants to marry his long-term girlfriend, Elaine, played by Leslie Mann, and basically their whole plan, it's actually like a smart idea. They don't want to get married until they have enough saved for a down payment for a house. So they want to save 30,000, and they do save 30,000, and basically Elaine, she kind of rushes into the whole house buying process. She finds a house that she likes, and she makes an offer. The offer is accepted, so that 30,000 is gone for the down payment. And all while this is going on, John realizes that his niece got accepted into Harvard, and she doesn't have a college fund. She has some scholarships, but I believe she lives in like a single parent household, and she lives in like a mobile home, so she doesn't have, you know, she doesn't have like a lot of disposable income. She doesn't have like a big college fund. So basically they pull up this video where John said, like when John's niece was like a little girl, he promised that if she got into college one day, he would pay for whatever she needed. So after scholarships and everything, John's niece still needs like 29,000 for college, and now John's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He had the 30,000 for the down payment. That's gone. He doesn't want to disappoint his girlfriend, but then his niece has this fantastic opportunity, and he did make a promise when she was a little girl, so he doesn't want to let her down either. So he kind of wants to make everyone happy, so he turns to his friend Duff, played by Tom Green, and they formulate this plan that they're gonna commit a bunch of little petty crimes to get the $29,000 for John's niece's tuition. So that is the basic plot summary. Jumping into some stuff that I liked first. Here's the thing, like, compared to other movies that these actors are in, the comedy was not as good. Maybe because it was like a PG-13 movie, so it was more tame. But I did really like the concept. I thought it was a fresh concept, and I like this whole idea of John is trying to make everyone happy. He wants to please everyone, and that's a lot of times in life. That's how it goes. Like, you kind of stretch yourself too thin because you want to make everyone happy. Like, you want to make your boss happy, so you pick up extra hours, but at the same time you want to make your family happy, so you're doing family stuff on your days off, and then you have like no time for yourself, and then you're kind of like you're kind of stressed. So I feel like that's just a life thing, that it's like an everyday occurrence where just as a human being, you want to please everyone, you want to make everyone happy. And I feel like that's what was like a big theme in this film, where John, he wants to make everyone happy. He doesn't want to let his wife down. He doesn't want to let his niece down. He could have easily just like given up, but he's like, you know what, like, these are people that I love, these are people that I care about. I don't want to let anyone down. I'm just gonna lie to them for right now, which, lying is bad, but he's like lying for their own good. He's like, I want to make them happy. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna make everyone happy. So I liked that theme, and then I also liked the theme of doing bad things for a good cause. He's doing some diabolical stuff. Not diabolical, but he's causing trouble in the neighborhood. He's holding up liquor stores. He kind of like inadvertently robbed the bank, but he's breaking in people's houses. He's pretty much robbing banks. He's doing all this immoral stuff where he's kind of like indirectly harming other people. Like, I mean, that's someone's money at the end of the day. Like, it's not, I don't know, even if they have insurance or whatever, like, it's not right. It's kind of an immoral way to go about things. But even though he's doing all this bad stuff, he's doing it for a good cause. And I kind of liked that theme too, because even though he was doing all this bad stuff, like, you could still really root for him doing all this bad stuff, and he was like a good, likable protagonist. And like, the way he went about everything, he was just, it was simply like, I just want to get enough money so I can make my niece happy, and then still and not have to, well, he can't revoke his down payment, but so yeah, basically I just want to get enough money to make my niece happy, and then I'm done with all this crime stuff. So I like that theme as well, of doing bad stuff for a good reason. That was kind of interesting. And then at the beginning and the end of the movie, Jason Lee's character John kind of talks about fate a little bit, and I kind of like that theme. I don't know if I do believe in fate or not. I do see like a lot of coincidences, and sometimes like I want stuff to work out one way in life, but it doesn't work out how I want to. But like where I end up is like where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like at that time, like maybe like I'll try to rush into things, but then it's like I'm not ready for that stage in my life yet, you know? Or it's like I didn't need, if I would have got this thing, it would have been bad or whatever. Like, or like I wanted this job, but like looking into it more deeply, it's like that would have been not a good fit, and I would have like hated my life. So I kind of like that idea of fate, where it's like, you know, stuff works out how it's supposed to work out, and you can't really force anything. Like I said, I don't fully believe in that, but I kind of do believe in that. Just from experiences in my life, like when I really stuff that's not meant to be, when I try to force it, it never works out. So I did like that theme of fate as well. That was a interesting little theme. So I thought the concept of the movie was it was a solid concept, and I did like a lot of the, like less significant, like smaller themes in the movie also. Getting into kind of a negative here, I pretty much touched on this earlier, but yeah, the main reason why I don't love this movie, and it's not something that I constantly quote or constantly want to revisit, is because like I said, it's not bad, but it's just bland and tame compared to all the other movies that the two main actors are in. You know, it's got a PG-13 rating, that could be part of it, but I don't know, just the main characters, they don't have like there's just, you know, like I said, I'm always constantly quoting Freddy Got Fingered with my coworker. There's so many memorable, funny lines that are just so easy to quote. Like in this movie, there's really not a lot of lines that I can recall that are super quotable. Like I don't know if it's the fault of the actors. Maybe they just didn't have as much to work with in this. Maybe it was the script, but it just seems like a toned down. You know, Road Trip is rated R. Freddy Got Fingered is R. All those Kevin Smith movies that I mentioned are rated R. Maybe the fact that it was PG-13, they kind of toned everything down, and maybe that led to it being more bland, or maybe it was just, the actors didn't have much to work with. Maybe just the script overall, like the dialogue was just, maybe on paper it was just not an extremely solid script, you know. So I don't know, but I kind of mentioned that earlier. That's the main thing. Like I said, I've said this 50 times in the video already. I don't hate this movie by any means, but it's not something that I'm like jumping like, I gotta watch Stealing Harvard. Like I watch it, I'm like, that was cool, like that was good, but it's like I'm not like, gee, oh boy, like I can't wait to watch Stealing Harvard when I get home, you know. So it is what it is. But anyways, moving on, I want to leave on a positive note. I think there were quite a few funny moments in this movie, actually. Like I said, just not as many as other movies starring these actors. One funny kind of running concept in the movie was so Duff owns his own landscaping business, and he's the worst landscaper ever. There's this one instance where he's like trimming a hedge, and he has a little rope as a guide, and he's just butchering the thing. He's just cutting it way too short. And then John is like, hey, you know, don't you think you're cutting that a little bit short? You're going a little bit, you know, too far down. Like, you're totally missing the guide. And then Duff is like, he's like, it's a guide. It's a guide. It's a guide. You know, like, it's not set in stone. It's a guide. So that was funny. And then later on, Duff is like trimming some tree, and he has some little kid hoisted up on this rope like 100 feet in the air with a chainsaw in his hand, and the kid is like sawing this branch and it falls on someone's nice car, and then he just like dips out. He's like, it was an act of God. So I like the whole running gag where Duff is just the worst landscaper ever. All the instances showing him being the worst landscaper were absolutely hilarious. And just a random little quick little blink and you miss it scene that I liked was, so Duff was talking about he basically like broke into one of his customers' houses. He's like, yeah, I do exterior work, but I also do interior work. And he's just like in their house drinking their milk, like making a mess. But he's like, yeah, I was hungry, so I thought I would heat up a brick of cheese. And he just heats up an entire brick of cheese in the microwave. This thing's like totally melted, and he's just like eating it with his hand. I thought that, like, I love that type of random humor like that, and I really like that, and it reminded me of Freddy Got Fingered, because there's so much cheese related antics in that movie. Like, he works at a cheese factory, I think, and then later on in the movie in Freddy Got Fingered, he's working at a sandwich shop, and someone like orders a cheese sandwich, and like I mentioned this quote earlier, but the customer's like, I ordered a cheese sandwich, and there's hardly any cheese on it. So I don't know, that just, the little brick of cheese scene in this movie was random and funny, and it reminded me of all the cheese stuff in Freddy Got Fingered. So yeah, Tom Green, when it comes to cheese related humor, he's the king. He's untouchable. When I think of the greats of cheese related comedy, I think of Tom Green as number one. The best when it comes to cheese jokes. He's untouchable. But also honorable mention to Pauly Shore in the Goofy movie with the Leaning Tower of Cheese, bro. So, shouts out the Goofy movie. I gotta watch more Disney movies on this channel. Disney movies slap. But anyways, I gotta get going. I'm talking about cheese here for 50 minutes, and I gotta get back to the movie at hand. I gotta get back to the review. I gotta focus. So anyways, I liked Tom Green eating a melted brick of cheese. That was great. I'm here for it. And then another funny thing that I liked is when they're robbing the liquor store. So John and Duff are robbing this liquor store, and the store clerk is played by Martin Starr, who he's in Freaks and Geeks. He's also in that movie Adventureland. He's the guy who's smoking the pipe. He's like, I like smoking the pipe. It calms my nerves. But anyways, I like Martin Starr. I always see him he's in a bunch of movies, but I like him. He's a good actor too. And I thought it was funny when they're robbing the store because, Martin Starr, he when he was a younger guy, he got kind of typecast in these nerd roles, and he was, rocking the glasses. He kind of had the nerdy look. So in this, he has that nerdy look, and it's funny because he just immediately, when John and Duff are robbing the store, what's his name? Martin Starr's character just whips out a shotgun immediately. Like, you think he's gonna be scared, and he's like this little like passive nerdy guy, but he's just ready for action. Like, he is just on tip. He just whips out the shotgun. He starts blasting him. He starts shooting at him, and I just thought it was funny because you wouldn't expect it. He's this little quiet nerdy guy in the movie, and then he's just like whipping out the shotgun like he's done it, like he's shot at people like 50,000 times, like he's a straight up G, like homeboy was straight gangster with it, like just whipping out the shotgun like, you want some, motherfucker? Like, he was just shooting at him like right off the bat. So I thought that was funny. And it was funny when there's like a lineup, and they like, the police have Martin Starr's character come in, and they're like, okay, who robbed the liquor store? And he's like, it was those two guys. He's like, they shot at the sign, they stole the adult magazines, and they stole the chocolate milk too. They did all of it, which, you know, it was funny because Martin Starr's character, he shot the sign, and of course after the robbery, he jacked the chocolate milks and he stole all the adult magazines. So I thought that was a cute little funny little scene as well, so I like that. So those were some funny moments that I liked. Had to leave on a positive note because, like I said, this movie's not bad. It's just not great. But anyways, in terms of a recommendation, I would recommend it as a time waster, but I don't know. I don't think this movie's really gonna knock anyone's socks off. Like, if you can, it's on Tubi right now. I think it expires in like 9 days. So yeah, if you can watch this movie for free, if you're looking for a comedy, like a short comedy, it's like an hour and 26 minutes. It's good as a time waster. It's by no means bad, but I wouldn't pay for this or like really seek this movie out if you're a Tom Green fan or a Jason Lee fan. It's just like you'd be fine skipping it. So yeah, I would recommend it as a time waster, but other than that, you know, don't worry about watching this. There's other you know, there's better Jason Lee and Tom Green movies in my opinion. But anyways, that's been my recommendation, and that has been my review of Stealing Harvard. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.